Good morning, everyone. It's Brenda Quintana here, and today is Casing Tuesday, and that's the day when we take a card out of the catalog and give it a makeover. So today's card is a super sweet card that I kind of wanted to emulate a little bit, but we're going to do some fun things today. We're going to bring in some markers and a blender pen and do some other things with it. So let's take a look at today's card. Move my head out of the way. So today's card is a square card, but you can definitely turn it into a typical rectangular shape. Probably most of you know that if you mail a square card, you will pay more postage for it. Now this card, I'm going to look at the sketch real quick. This card they're saying is a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 card. So sometimes what I do with a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 inch card is I will put it in a rectangular envelope and just add a little piece of cardstock in the shape of the envelope to back it up, and I will still send a square card in a rectangular envelope to avoid the extra postage. But since they do require extra postage, my card today will be a rectangular card. And the bundle that this card uses is Storybook Friends. Of course, you can use whatever bundle you want to dress this up. But I haven't used this bundle yet. I just got it about a week ago. And so I wanted to try and use it on a card. Easter is kind of late this year, and Storybook Friends kind of gives off a Beatrix Potter sort of vibe. It is definitely a nice Easter bundle. So it is super cute, and so I just wanted to use that same bundle that the inspiration card used for my card as well. So just take a look at the dimensions here, and you can easily change this out. And I decided not to use a circle, so you can use like a shape or a rectangle or a square, or instead of the circle in the center too. So have fun with this one. And remember, you can post your card over on the Casing Tuesday Facebook group. It's there for me to post. It's there for you to post. It's there for you to get ideas. How do you turn this card into many different types of cards? And last week, I took a look at the cards that were posted, and you could just see this huge variety of cards from one blueprint of a card. So that's always kind of the fun thing. It's a good challenge, especially if you've been stamping for a while. You might be in a rut in terms of the types of cards that you choose to do, but Casing Tuesday is chosen by we have about 10 different people that work with us every week, and they all get to choose a card behind the scenes to be cased. So we represent a wide variety of card styles, and sometimes a card style won't be my card style, and it will challenge me to work a little harder or think a little differently. But if you're new to stamping, it's also good because we have that sketch for you with the measurements so that you can work from the sketch and kind of plug and play and get used to the different measurements. So I'm gonna pop this away, and this is my card. I turned it. I took away the circle, and I did one of the fancy frames that comes with the Storybook Friends bundle. I also, on the inside right here, I colored a little bunny and a little scene that I stamped. And I'm going to show you how I did that with markers and blender pens. For the outside, I used the Storybook Moments Designer Series paper. And this is a specialty paper. And the reason it's a specialty paper is it comes with die cuts. It comes with a die cut sheet. Let me just open up, grab this die cut sheet. So this right here, you get 2 sheets of this, of die cut sweet images. And it reminds me so much of something that I had in my childhood with these little die cut cute little characters. I know they were sent to me from Germany by one of our relatives, and they were just really sweet. So this is a nice little reminder of something similar I had in the past. Not exactly like this, but something similar. So you can use these little characters on your cards. And so I did that for the front of the card, and then I stamped on the inside. So you have some options, you know, even once the paper is gone. If you get the bundle, I'm gonna slide this back in. So there's different papers in here with different characters on them. And even once you're done with the paper, the Storybook Friends also has cute little characters, and they're bigger than they appear on the case. Like, so I don't know if you can see that bunny here, and you can see his little image. They're about double the size as they are on the front of the case, and so they are big enough and cute enough to do some coloring with. And you have frames and you have die cuts to cut out the little characters that are in the bundle. So it's a nice little bundle. It's nice for Easter. I will be doing something Easter with it. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. Easter this year is closer, like the second half of April. So we have a little bit of time this year. Sometimes Easter is very close on the heels, right after Valentine's Day, but this year we have more time. So I'm going to show you how I made this, and especially I love how I colored this little guy. I tried to stay true to the designer series paper a bit and not use super dark colors. So with a blender pen and markers, you can really do that. And speaking of the markers, I've been talking about them for about a month now. You can get 2 packs of markers free in your starter kit. So it's such a great deal because they're about $30 each. So it's a lot of extra product for your $99 starter kit, because you get to choose $125 worth of product. That's your choice, plus 2 markers, plus a stamp set that Stampin' Up! Is throwing in. So it really is a good deal to get it. You have until the end of February, and then that deal is done. I also wanted to mention that Stampin' Up! Has added new products to the $60 level category for celebration. So they have added some products. They are existing products, but there are some cute things, like there's the bee punch in there. There's the beautiful butterfly stamp set that I have been using for the past 2 weeks. Now, it doesn't have the dies, but you can buy the hybrid embossing folder die bundle, or it's kind of weird how they put it in the catalog, but the hybrid embossing folder comes with the dies in the catalog. So you can buy that separately and get the stamp set for free with the $60 purchase. So we have some new things. There's also a few new things in the last chance category. There were some things that retired, and so some of those are in there, and they have a reduced price on them. So you might want to check those out today. And I do also have a host code for the month. So Stampin' Up! Rewards you for spending $60 this month, and I'll reward you for ordering at least $50 this month. Here is my February host code. And this month, I'm going to be choosing the party dots because I thought they looked very Easter-like. And I will be mailing these out in March, so you'll get them in time for Easter. So I thought those were super sweet. And what other thing that I wanted to mention? Oh, last night I sent out an email. If you're on my email list, if you were waiting for some of the products that were not available from the holiday catalog, there was some back orders. They were in a container that got stuck in customs. I guess they got selected for an extra check, and therefore it delayed the products coming. So if you were looking for the Christmas labels bundle, the reindeer fun bundle, the decorative trees bundle, those bundles are now available in the last chance category in the online store. So don't forget to check those out if you were waiting for those. I don't know how many they ordered, and I know I've had a few customers waiting for different ones that were supposed to come in. So don't delay in checking those out. And just remember, if you spend $60 even on a product that was a holiday catalog product, you still get to earn celebration rewards on it if you hit the $60 threshold. Okay, that was a lot of housekeeping stuff. Sorry I have to do that, but sometimes it's kind of like having announcements, and sometimes an announcement will mean something to you and sometimes it won't, and I have to kind of cover all my bases and make sure that I get everyone the information that they need. All right, are you ready? Are you ready to make this card? I think I have my camera on. Let me zoom in before I get over here. I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to come over here to this card. So I'm going to do a little something right here first. I selected, we're going to use a die cut on the front of the card. We're going to make this little guy here. And but I'm not going to use the same little mouse. I'm going to use a different one. So I'm going to spread these out here. I did kind of select a few. There are a lot more images, but I selected a few that I thought might go, and the size was right. So I'm just going to spread those out here. And I know that's a lot to choose from. Let me see. Okay. All right, so this one's a little squirrel. This one is a chipmunk, mouse, bunny in blue dress, bunny in green jacket, the white duck, the yellow duck, or the badger. Which one would you like me to put on the card when I finish it off? If you want to let me know in the comments, and I'll work along, and then afterwards we'll finish up the inside with some coloring. Okay, so let's get started. And let me put this aside. And we'll start with the card base. And I'm using boho blue. It's one of the retiring in colors that is going to be retiring soon. It's probably my favorite color. Well, I also liked Wild Wheat because we have nothing else like it. And I liked Pebble Path too. Those are the three that I use the most. But boho blue will be retiring at the end of April. So if you like this color, don't forget to get cardstock and an ink pad and an ink refill to make your products last longer. So I start off with an 11" by 4 1/4" piece, and I scored in half at the 5 1/2" mark, and then I'm going to fold it. We're just going to smooth this down. Then we're going to take a piece of cardstock in the same color, boho blue. This is 3 1/2" by 4 3/4. And I need a little scrap piece of cardstock or paper just to protect my work surface. And we are going to use the boho blue ink pad and this little house stamp that comes with the bundle. And make sure You stamp them all in the same direction. So you're just gonna stamp all over this piece and just create like a pattern. I'm trying hard not to be too patterny. I don't necessarily want it to be, I want it to be a random pattern, right? So I just kind of need to okay. All right, and it can look, it doesn't have to look perfect because we're going to cover it, but this was also in the inspiration card, so I wanted to kind of mimic that. I don't always mimic the card exactly, but I really wanted to delve into the storybook, friends, and it just happened to be the right week for all of that. So I'm going to close up my ink pad before I end up with blue all over my hands, and we're going to glue this centered on the card. Front, kind of centered. Okay. Next off, we're going to cut a frame using this die, and we're also going to cut a background right out of the paper to use in that frame. So I'm going to use my mini machine today because yesterday while I was shoveling, I like fell on the ice at the end of my driveway, and I knew there was ice there, but it got to me anyway. It was a big piece of ice. And so I kind of hurt my wrist a little yesterday. It's fine. I didn't break a bone. I don't think I even sprained it. It's just, it was a little sore yesterday. It's a lot better today, but running something through this mini machine, it takes a little less effort. So that's another reason why this mini machine is good. Like maybe some of you also have like some issues with you know, arthritis, or you know, like a sore wrist, and the bigger machines, they have a little bit of kickback when you're running them through. I also switched to my left hand yesterday, which was, I just turned my machine around, which you can absolutely do, and cranked with my left hand. So there are different things that you can do with, you know, when it's only one wrist that is sore. Okay, so let's open up this little baby here. Just set that aside a bit. And we're gonna grab our base platform, which should be number 1, but my machine is tight, so I use the number 3, which is a little thinner. Then I'll use a clear plate on the bottom and another clear plate on the top, and these 2 plates, the dark gray and the white, I'm going to tuck aside because we won't need those today. And we're going to grab, I'm going to have to cut this. Sometimes I leave the die on the end here because it reminds me of what I need to cut. But this is a very simple fix. I'm just going to cut this off so I can rotate the cardstock, because we're going to cut a pecan pie frame. Uh-oh. Oh, here it is. I was like, where did you go? I'm going to flip this over. This has a little light speck on it. So we'll cut it this way. And we'll run this through. Pop this back into my rack so it's out of the way. Okay. I forgot to swing my microphone forward. Hopefully now you'll be able to hear me a little better, because the microphone's right underneath or right over top of my die cutting machine. Okay, so this piece you could use for another project, and we don't need it today. And then we're going to pop this piece out of its little frame. Come here. Oh my goodness. All right, here we go. All right, and you did not pop out. Okay, that one doesn't come out. This one does come out. Okay, so there is our little frame. We'll set that aside. And then we also need to cut our little house paper. I'm glad I found the house paper because I was flipping over the different papers and they have different scenes on them. This is definitely a paper that can be used as a focal point for the card. So you see this paper, it has vegetables on one side and the little houses on the other side. So I just kind of chose whatever house I wanted to use. I just kind of moved my frame around and then I cut that little piece out of the paper, and then that's what we're going to use. You could use whichever house you want, or you could use some of the other paper. You could use some of the you know, this paper as well, right? Because you know, you could choose whatever you want. The house just makes a nice little backdrop because I'm using a die cut character to kind of be my focal point there. Okay, so I've got my little piece cut, and this time we just want to make sure that we can kind of see the house up at the top because our little character is going to be on the bottom. And just before I run this through, make sure I don't shift it. Okay. I could tape this down, but I think we're going to be good. Okay. So my wrist is okay right now. It's not hurting doing this, so I'm going to keep doing it with my right hand. And there is my little inset that is going to go in the frame. And then this piece I'm just going to throw away because I'm not going to use that. Okay. I think that's all the die cutting we need to do for this card. So I'm going to just pop this away. Bring this back in. And what we want to do is center this right in the center. You could also use sticky, the adhesive back sheets. If you put it on the cardstock first, then die cut it, and then all you have to do is peel it off, and it's like a sticker. I am usually too impatient to do that. Also, when I'm designing, I cut 3 different colors of frames before I hit upon one that I actually liked. So I don't want to prep that many pieces of cardstock. So that's why I go with the glue, and it makes me happy. So then we're going to take our little frame or our little inside, and we're just going to put that down in there. Okay, so now it looks like a little picture frame. And now I have to decide which of these little guys I am going to put in there. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to scroll back up and see. Okay, I have one for the mouse and the teacup. Someone wanted the badger. Green shirt bunny. Badger. Okay, so we have 2 for the badger, 2 for the mouse and the cup. Badger or the bunny looking up at the cottage in the frame. So I guess that would be that one. Bunny would be blue, bunny in blue. Oh my gosh. Okay, I think a lot of people, I think I had like 3 votes for the mouse in the teacup. So we're going to do the mouse in the teacup. We'll do the mouse in the teacup, which is cute. And I think that, I mean, it's kind of cute for the cottage, right? And we'll put the little guy right there. Okay. And now we need to stamp a little greeting. So I noticed that the background of this paper was a little bit more very vanilla than it was white. So I'm going to use very vanilla as my background, and I'm going to use this stamp here that says hello friend. Now the good thing about doing a hello friend on the front of this card is, you know, probably we have some friends, they have birthdays, they have different things going on during the year. So this could be turned into like just hi there card, or you could also put happy birthday on the inside. So I'm not going to stamp a greeting on the inside of my card yet, because that way I can decide what it will be when I need a card like that. So this is almost like a blank card that can be converted when you need it. So hello friend, this is pecan pie ink, and this is just 3/8 of an inch wide. I think it's about 3 inches long. I don't need all 3 inches. I just, it's sometimes easier to stamp when you have the extra length to kind of orient your greeting so it's straight. And we are just going to, oh, it is actually warm in here this morning. It's I think it's going to be, it's above freezing today. So I'm turning off my heater. Okay, so I'm just going to cut off the ends here. And this will go right kind of in between there. Let's start off with that. And so you can see, like, this little guy, he will basically, like, you can switch them out for so many of them. Now, I'm going to move the teacup. We are going to do the teacup guy, but I want to show you the badger would have worked. The little chipmunk would have worked. Here would have been the bunny in the blue. That would have been really cute too, right? This little bunny here would have been cute. The little duck would have been cute. The yellow duck, also cute. And this one also would have worked. So there are larger ones that wouldn't work because they were about as tall as the frame, and I didn't think that looked great, but there were enough smaller little images that you could use that would work in the place. So we're going to do our little teacup guy. So cute. There we go. And now we are going to do the inside of the card. So we're doing a mouse on the outside of the card. And I think I'm going to do a bunny on the inside. So do you have any requests for the inside bunny? I did the little bunny with the trousers. But we could do the bunny with the dress, or the little guy right here holding a flower maybe. I think one of those 3 I think would be cute. Either this little guy, the dress bunny, or the suspender bunny. Let me know which one you want me to use, and I will start setting up what I'm going to do here. So I've got a piece of very vanilla, and this is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And I'm going to do, here, I'll just show you what this is going to be. So I'm going to stamp the field of carrots And then I'm going to stamp the image over here and we're going to color them. So let's see. Do I have any? Kristen wants the bunny in the dress. Do I have any other requests? Are everyone okay with the bunny in the dress? Let's see. This one is the bunny in the dress. She'd be looking this way. We can do her. All right. Okay, we'll do the bunny in the dress. Oh. Okay, Catherine also says bunny in the dress. So I'm going to do the bunny in the dress. So what we need, again, is a piece of little scrap piece of cardstock. Because we're going to stamp the bunny first, because when you look at the inside, you're probably going to look at the bunny first. So that's kind of my focal point for the inside here. Too many things in this area. Let's give myself a little space. Move some things out. Okay, now we can do this. So we're going to take the stamp. This is Memento black ink, and we're going to put the bunny right about here. So cute. And then we're going to do the field of carrots, which I think is really cute and fun to see those little carrots peeking out. Oh, and by the way, the paper that I used today is currently unavailable, but I did check the supply list and it looks like it will be back in stock again next week. So, and also there is still time to get the paper before Easter, but it's a specialty paper, so it comes to us from overseas. So just keep that in mind. I would snag it when it comes back in stock and not wait until closer to Easter when I really feel like it won't be in stock. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so I've got this is an E-block right here. And I think I'm going to do a blue dress since we have a blue card. We're going to use markers today because if I use Stampin' Blends on here, it would be very dark. And if you look at these little characters, they look like they are watercolor. They've kind of got a watercolor feel to them. And we can kind of emulate that a little bit with using a blender pen and Stampin' Write markers. So I have pulled markers mainly from the brights and the neutrals group. I did grab this petal pink from the subtles group because I wanted to show you how cool it would be to get a starter kit with these markers in them. So I am going to we'll start off with the bunny. We're going to do the blue dress on the bunny. And instead of going direct to paper like we did with the seagulls last week, the seagulls had such a tiny little piece to color. It didn't matter, and they were very kind of little tiny pops of color. This would be a little too big. So we're going to do this. We're going to scribble with the brush tip on this block. We're going to create like a little palette here. And then we're going to use our blender pen and pick this up, and you can kind of test, okay, is that too dark to start off with? And always start at the edge and then work your way in with the blender pen. And the other thing you can do too is you can work on the lines and then work over from there. Like the little lines that the artist has given us. That's a way to do this. And you note I'm holding this on an angle. Okay. So this does take a little practice, but watercoloring does take a little bit more work. But it also kind of gives you a more, how do I say it, a more textured result. And I'm going to leave a little bit of white space right at the top of that dress. Right here, we want to darken that up. Okay. And then you can just kind of fill in anywhere that you need to. Okay. And next we're going to do the top of the dress. And just work our way around. We're going to leave the collar white because the collar, yeah, we'll just leave it white. And there's a little band right here that I'm kind of going to do full strength to make it a little darker, the cap on the sleeves and the little band. Okay, so we've got the little dress done. To get rid of color on your blender pen, you just kind of keep coloring it until the color runs clear. And now we're going to do the bunny. And I've got both pecan and crumb cake here. So we're going to scribble some crumb cake. This is very light. You can barely see it, but that's good because we want the bunny not to be super dark. And then I've got some pecan as well. And we'll start down with the foot down here. And we're just going to I always kind of start on the outline and I work my way, or the outside, and I work my way in because the color gradually fades. So you want to start at the edge and then work in a little bit. Or right on the outside. Okay, so that's kind of the bottom there. And let's do the little paws. Little arm paws. Haven't decided yet what 3D thing I'm going to do yet for Easter, but I feel like I definitely will be using this bundle in conjunction with whatever I do. I'm going to add a little pink afterwards, but I'm going to just kind of do brown for now. Okay. And then we'll want to do like the ears right here. And for the ears, I'm going to do the outside. And we'll leave a little room for the pink to come in on the inside. I'm kind of combining a little bit of pecan with the crumb cake. It's nice because you can kind of combine those colors together. Okay. Next up, we need a little bit of, this is Petal Pink. You can't barely see this on here because it's a very light color. It is in the Subtles family, so that's to be expected. But we're going to add that to the center of the ears, and a little bit on the nose area. I've already done that with the brown, but it will kind of deepen it a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna see if I'm gonna keep that collar white. I think I am, because I you know, definitely have a feeling towards that area. All right, next up we're gonna do the little carrots. So I'm just going to do a little swatch of pumpkin pie here. And then we'll come in and, you know, given the size area, I could probably do direct to paper with this area, but my feeling was that it would probably be a little too dark, and I wanted the blender pen to kind of mute. I wanted it to mute the color so that it wouldn't look like full on orange. You know, I didn't want that contrast on there. And then I'm going to do some, oops, wrong side. I'm going to do some green. This is Granny Apple Green. Right here. And we're going to do the leaves. Again, this is a very small area. I probably could have done direct to marker, but it would have been darker. Direct to marker. Marker direct to paper is what I mean. But this just gives it just a little bit more of a muted look. And I like that. I do like watercoloring a lot. I like that look. Okay, so one other thing that you can do also to kind of soften up the ground patch that it's in is we can go back to crumb cake. This is crumb cake, and my crumb cake was over here, so I'm just gonna come in. This is the crumb cake. Come in over here and take this, grab this a little bit, and just right underneath these little dark lines, you can come in and just add just a little crumb cake underneath. It kind of gives it a little bit of an accent. Anchors it a little bit. Like that. But if you don't like to do this, if you don't like to color, then the paper is brilliant, because you could have also taken the little dress bunny and you could have put her right on there instead. And you don't have to watercolor, but there is some great satisfaction, and well, this isn't directly watercoloring, but it is kind of a form of it. It's blender pens, and the nice thing about blender pens is you don't need any special paper. This is right on very vanilla cardstock, and it's very easy to do, and it's great for small little areas. Okay, so now we're gonna pop this over here, and a big clear block works really great for creating like a little palette of colors when you're coloring. And you know, the markers are nice because you get a whole pack of markers for around $30, and then you can just go ahead and do like have a full color range, you know. And with the starter kit, when you do that, you get 2 packs of markers in your starter kit for a $99 starter kit plus $125 with product. So you could get the 2 packs of markers on the marker portion, choose whichever color groups you want, then get a package of blender pens in the your choice portion, and then, you know, you could do a lot of different things with that. So isn't that cute? It's so cute. And then this is the one that I did earlier. Kind of the same idea. This little guy with the suspenders also has the blue. Now I did use for the starter kit special, you can't order the in color markers because they are a smaller pack. They are only a pack of 5. But if you wanted to match the blue exactly, there is a pack of these markers for the outgoing in colors that has boho blue in it if you want to match exactly. But I feel like this blue was, you know, close enough that it was okay. So I used, that blue I used was Azure Afternoon, which is in the Brights collection. So there you go. That is that. And aren't those little guys super cute? And if we go back to, where is our original card? So there was our original card. So you can kind of see how these cards kind of have a little bit of that original card, but it's a totally different card, right? It has some of the feel, but not all of it. So, all right, I'm coming back over to you guys. And thank you so much for joining me today. If you've made it this far, I would love it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment. It always makes me happy to see a comment, and I'm so glad that I can share my tips with you to help make your stamping easier. And thank you for joining me today. And so now I'm going to say hello to everyone that came this morning. Good morning, Marge from Connecticut. And she says it's wintry Connecticut. Oh dear. I hope that doesn't mean that we're going to get wintry stuff, Marge, because, you know, Connecticut's awfully close to Massachusetts. So, Ellie's also in Connecticut, and she says, in Southeast Connecticut, and she says, it's a lovely day. Hello, Kim from -29 without the wind chill, and that is Celsius. That is cold and brutal in Edmonton, Kim. Yikes. You are not going to do a good advertisement for the tourist board here today. But I know Edmonton has other times of year, but not the best time to visit Edmonton right now, right? Hello, Nancy from sunny Maryland. Hello, Mary. Hello, Ruth. And she says she tries not to miss any of my videos. Well, that's very kind of you. Thank you. Hello, Kristen from Colorado. And Valerie's here too. Good morning. Good morning, Louise. Having the ephemera is a super neat idea. I always pronounce that name wrong. Yes, having those little die cuts. I'm glad it's a specialty paper. I do like paper that is all paper. But in this case, I think the die cuts are awesome. They add a little fun spin to the paper. So it is nice. Hello, Elizabeth from Australia. It must be pretty near your bedtime. I hope you had a good day. Okay, and we had some votes for the different designs we were going to put on the front. Good morning, Vera Blue from Missouri. And hello, there's a Valerie here from Northern California. Hello. Hello, Nina Williams. And she's like giving me the thumbs up. Thank you so much. Hello, Linda. She says she's coming in late. It's a bit icy getting to work this morning. Yeah, you know what? It rained last night, and my driveway looks a little icy this morning. But it is going to be above freezing today, so I'm sure it's going to thaw out. And I'm not planning on going anywhere too far today. I'm stocked up with groceries. I went grocery shopping on Sunday, and I got all the greens that I need. So I'm feeling good. Whenever I get low on the greens in my house, I panic because I'm, especially in winter, because I'm like, if it's going to be snowy. And my husband is up in Canada right now, and he's coming back on Friday, so I'm excited about that. I'll probably have to do another grocery store run. Wonder what he would like for coming back. I think he's going to be back around dinner time on Friday. I have to give that some thought. All right. Catherine said, okay, now I'm reading off the little things that you chose. I don't need to do that because we already did that. Kristen says that she's glad that I'm okay. Yeah, it was really silly when I slipped. I just landed on my bottom. That was it. I did not hit my head or anything like that. And actually my wrist did not hurt at the time at all. But I still had most of the driveway to do at that point. And I think the fact that I used it to break my fall, and then I stressed it out by doing the rest of the driveway, I think that's why it was sore. A little bit between, just working out my lifting my biceps and all of that area that made it sore, plus that I fell on it. But I was okay. Really, truly, I was okay. But I got all of the driveway done. I'm really proud of myself. For the past few weeks, I've been keeping up. Our driveway is long. Not as long as like some people's, I'm sure, but it is significant for one person to do, and we don't have a snow shoveling service because we're not really sure. I think between my husband and I, we can usually handle it. So, and snow isn't as often here as it once was. So anyway, totally as an aside. And that's why I do this at the end. So if you don't want to hear stuff about my life, you don't want to say hello to other people, then you can depart. And I don't mean for you to have to stick around, but I still remember when my mom was alive, this was the part that she would skip over the card making part and watch the beginning and the end. So for some people, this part is just as important as the card making. So it's here. And the nice thing is we've got fast forward once the video is done, and you don't have to stick around if you don't want to for this part. But I appreciate it if you do, for sure, because it makes my video a lot better. It's easier for me to do a video like this than to do a pre-recorded video, for sure. Okay. Louisa, if you have a wrist brace, wear it at night. You know what? I do actually have a wrist brace because I have done some weird things with my wrist in the past. My bones right there, I have like small hands and I have like tiny wrists. They're not very strong. So yes, I was fine last night though. By the night, I did take one Advil during the day, and that seemed to like keep it happy. And I haven't needed anything else from then on in. Hello, Mary from Windy, Indiana. And she has the paper. Great. So you don't have to get it. And because it is out of stock right now. Nancy says she's putting off 2 shoulder replacements. However, using the Big Shot reminds me of just how painful it is for me. So Nancy, I hope, there are electric die cutting machines too. So if you you're having a lot of pain when doing that, I would probably invest in an electric die cutting machine. Stampin' Up! Does not sell them, but you have to make things comfortable for you, especially if you're going to do a lot of repetitive stuff. So that sounds like the shoulder replacement sounds quite scary. Oh, that sounds like a lot. I hope that goes well if you decide to go ahead with it. Ellie says, such a cute set with the paper. She overlooked it in the holiday frenzy. Yeah, you know, it is in the mini catalog right now. And it is, you know, once we get past Valentine's Day, we will feel like getting into the more spring stuff, like with flowers and bunnies and all of that. Okay. Oh, Kristen, that would have been good. Putting the bunny on the right side looking in. Yeah, that would have been really cool. So Kristen said, that's why sometimes I miss the comments. Like, it would have looked cool with her looking in, but it's okay with her looking outside. She's kind of looking at the recipient, if the person is right-handed. So give it to a right-handed person, because then it will look like the bunny is staring at them. But yeah, yes, I could have shifted it over to the other side. That would have been a better thing to do. I just was trying to emulate what I did before. So yeah, that would have looked a lot better. Someone asked, Kathy asked, if it was watercolor paper, and I did clarify, this is just plain, very vanilla. You could also do it with basic white. The blender pen, so after I'm finished coloring, especially on this where I did a little bit more work, the paper will feel a teeny tiny bit roughed up. But not, a blender pen is not a saturated thing. It is wet, but not like an aqua painter. Like, if I had wanted to watercolor, to really watercolor, then I would have used an aqua painter, and then I probably would have needed to switch to watercolor paper. But a blender pen, you can use just the regular vanilla and basic white, and you will be absolutely fine. Kathy also said would be nice if we could order the ephemera alone. Yeah, I guess so. I think in this case, it does work really nicely. And the one other thing with this paper, I didn't point out, there's a lot of sheets that have, you know, like you've got, you know what, I'm just going to switch this down facing here for a moment. We'll take a look at all of these pieces here. I've got already some like pieces kind of cut up. But okay, right here, you get 2 sheets of each. So this piece also can be cut up for card fronts. All you do is you cut down the middle, and then you start cutting off of all of these different rectangles. This is such pretty, sweet paper. And then if you don't want that pattern, you've kind of got a neutral green pattern background. So that one's really cool. Oh, I think I put this in backwards. You've got this page with the little bunnies, and on the back you've got these little strawberries. So sweet. And then we've got this one, which is like gardening tools, which, you know, if you didn't want to do like all kind of bunny features, this one would be good for like a spring card, right, for a friend. And then we've kind of got a neutral background on that one. And then we've got this one here, which is vegetables. And on the background, we have those little cute little houses that I used in the little frame. So, okay, let's see. We did the bunnies, we did this one, we did this one. Okay, and then we have, I think this is the last one. This one is like almost like a whole page of chipmunks. We're doing different things. And then on the back, we've got this neutral piece. I like that Stampin' Up, you know, gives us almost always kind of a more neutral side on the background, on the back side of this paper, so that, you know, if you didn't want to use the fancier side, you can always use the neutral paper. So it's really, really beautiful paper. I would say definitely worth getting when it comes back in stock. Kristen said, thank you for showing the blender pen. I'm glad I bought them and now have another use for them. Yeah, they work really well with the markers. Catherine said, such a lovely card. Thank you. Continue to learn more exciting techniques. Nola says, catching the very tail end of this. She finally got her butterfly bundle, so we'll be working on those projects. Awesome. Yeah, Nancy says, Mr. McGregor's garden, but there is no Mr. McGregor in this garden. These bunnies are going to be fine. Mr. McGregor is not going to chase them because they are in a safe place. So yes, but totally yes. And little Peter Rabbit and Benjamin Bunny, it just really reminds me of all of those little characters, and it's so sweet. And very nice Easter, spring themed things to do. All right, everyone, you have made it to the end of this video. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will have a video for you on Friday. I have not yet decided what this week's tutorial will be for my 3D realm of things, but I'm sure it will be good. I hope it will be good, but you'll have to join me on Friday to find that out. So until then, have a great week and stay safe, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.